So, look, not to put words in China's mouth because they would know best, right? But when we take a look at the way they've been amassing gold, you think geopolitics, you think potentially war, you think don't want to depend too much on dollar in their reserves. I mean, all that seems to make sense, right?
It does seem to make sense. Central banks very rarely tell us why they're buying gold or why they're changing the composition of their foreign exchange reserves. But certainly, I think all those factors are playing a role.
Yeah. And on the supply side, how are things looking?
Well, we've seen record first quarter mine production in 2024, up 4% year on year. But the bigger picture, I think, about mine production is that effectively it plateaued around 2016, 2018, and we've seen no growth since then. Sure, there's been some reasons for that. If you think about the disruptions of COVID, there's been some fairly widespread strike action, safety shutdowns in China for a while in an important area. But I think the overwhelming story there is after 10 years of rapid growth from around 2008, the mining industry is struggling to report sustained growth in production. It's getting harder to find gold, permit it, finance it, and operate it. Mining is a difficult and, in some jurisdictions, unpopular activity, and companies are finding it tricky to expand production.
So supply is tight and limited. Demand is extremely strong, especially from developing world central banks. 24.49, that's not the top then, sounds like.
Well, there's no doubt that it was a big increase in gold this year, and probably more than we were expecting as well. We too had been looking at this relationship of the dollar and US interest rates and gold. So we've been taken a little bit by surprise by this move. What could take it higher from here? Well, if we get the sort of rate cuts that some commentators are talking about in the United States, then perhaps the slumbering giant of Western investment could join, the rampant horde of emerging market demand we're seeing at the moment. And the combination of those two could take gold to new highs.